Danka. How's ITing?
Oh, it's been, I mean, lucrative.
That's good.
Stay busy, you know. I'll just message it to you directly here.
Oh, it came up on, it emailed me because I'm following you.
Oh, neat. Okay.
You just went live.
Did just go live.
Just gotta log in. That's cool. Sometimes I miss IT, but most of the time I don't.
Yeah, thankfully I'm on the easy side of IT. You know, I don't do the grunt work. I'm a senior engineer, so I don't have really somebody making my project plans or telling me what to do on a day-to-day basis. I tell them what I'm going to do if I tell them anything.
Yep.
And otherwise it's laid back. I get to work when I want to get to work. I go home essentially when I want to go home. Nobody's watching my hours. I'm salary, so as long as work's getting done, no one cares.
That's awesome. That would be ideal. And hopefully the money there when you want to do a project.
Yeah, for the most part, they've got a good chunk of money, so I don't have to worry about them not having what we need. I can't get crazy, mind you, but it's you know,
keep it operational.
Yeah. So
you're coming through on here, just so you know. So am I.
Good. Yeah, and voice. Yeah, we're both on there.
I tried to mute it. Oh, there we go. Now I muted it.
So what I'm playing, by the way, is this. Have you played any of the Far Cry games before?
No, never. I've kind of figured it was sort of an FPS, but
it is. It's an open world FPS. I'll open the map up, and I know you're going to be a little bit behind, but essentially what you see are regions controlled by certain people in this game. And then you've got the big bad guy's island, which you go toward at the end, and then the guy you start with, the island you start on. So I've just reset all the outposts. Outposts are like little bases that the enemies capture, and when you go and take them over, sort of that little surrounding section of the game gets kind of taken back by you, and it's less aggressive, so you can kind of move more freely. But okay. I've beat the game, I've beat the story, and so I'm just kind of playing now. So I've reset the outpost for the first time, which is a feature in all their games to give you a little something to do.
Okay.
And I'm stealthing around. I'm just about to take this outpost back. So I kind of have some options here. I can distract them and like throw rocks. I'm going to throw a rock here.
And then they kind of come to you?
Yeah, and they're like, huh, what the hell? And so what I try to do is lead them away from where they were, and they'll always go to the source of the sound.
Oh yeah, I see the one guy moving.
Yeah, and then I'll kind of throw another one, and he's like, oh, what the hell? And they, of course, get alerted if they see dead bodies and if they see their friends die and all that kind of good stuff. And if you try to lure them with rocks too much, they get suspicious, and they're like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore, and they start freaking out.
So at this point, you can take them out, and the people won't see that?
Correct, yeah, and if I do take him out and he's not positioned in a great spot, I can actually pick his body up and move it.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of Hitman-ish, but, oh shit, weird physics glitch.
Yeah, it's a little choppy on my screen for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. It's super smooth for me, but that could just be my bandwidth playing fun with me.
Trying to... Oh, it won't let me... I can select 720, that's it. But I have like a ridiculous internet connection, so...
Oh, so you have good downstream?
Yeah, it's 100 meg fiber.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty quick most days. Like, whatever, 10 megabit per second.
Well, good. Yeah, I'm, 720p is kind of pushes bandwidth like that. I have 100 meg up and down, so of course I'm streaming as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Pre-recorded stuff, or the recorded stuff that you can watch later is pretty decent. But anyway, that's cool. Kind of what I'm doing now. Is I'm just clearing this outpost, and I'm.
Was there much of a storyline when you played it through?
There was a pretty decent storyline. I didn't feel it was as good as the older games, which is good because you can buy those on Steam for cheap, like oftentimes like $7 or $8. Far Cry 4 is an excellent game. But in this case, it's like you're in Montana. It's the first time they've had this game in the U.S.
Okay.
So you're in Montana, and this is like a super hyper pseudo-Christian religious cult has just started going crazy, and they're kidnapping people. And there's two brothers. No, it's three brothers. Three brothers and their sister or adopted sister. Who all control parts of the map, and they're all equally crazy in different ways, and so you have little mini stories that you do on each of those guys, and they vary from drug culture kind of stuff to basically using drugs to control people, like making them more amiable and less resistant to being kidnapped and mind controlled, if you want to call it that. But you basically walk through the entire start of the game is essentially you're trying to serve an arrest warrant to the leader of the cult and bring him in for the kidnapping and things that have been going on this whole time. And things kind of go tits up as you try to do that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But lots of vehicles. There's helicopters and airplanes you can fly. There's ATVs you can drive across the country. There's hunting. You can hunt. You can fish. You can do all kinds of shit. So lots of little things to do. And I like this kind of game. It's like approach it how you want and play how you want.
Yeah, pretty immersive.
It is. I like it a lot. The sound quality is exceptional. The visuals are very good.
Do you get stuff like upgrade weaponry and things that are yours?
Yep, you can purchase your own vehicles. You can upgrade weaponry. You can buy scopes and silencers and all that kind of thing. And drive a boat up on land because that's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You get into dogfights with World War II era planes, and you can take helicopters around with armed with cannons and missiles and all kinds of shit, and fly around and go total crazy on people. Or you can take the stealthy approach like I do and shoot a bow and arrow at people, and hit them with an arrow and go reclaim your arrow and carry their body somewhere hidden, and just kind of keep going like that.
Oh yeah, cool.
But it's fun. It's full price right now, and I wouldn't recommend paying full price for this game. But
I probably can't play it right now anyway. I'm looking forward to. I want to play. I'll have to get my PC set up though. But Frostpunk.
I'm not familiar with that.
It's kind of, to me, it's what is that, like kind of Command and Conquer-esque.
Okay.
But it's built around like the premise of you're like. It's after an apocalypse kind of thing, and there's this there's these sites around your area or whatever where they built like a central steam generator, and then you control the little guys. You have to build certain buildings that do certain functions. You got to harvest scrap, you got to harvest lumber, you got to harvest ore. You got to build out and for your little dudes to make sure they live, and then you also get to make social choices. You'd be like, we bury our dead, or we just dump them in a pile, and and you basically get like dissension and stuff like that from the people. And then you build explorers, sort of like little I can't remember what they call them, trackers or something, not exactly that, but similar. And you take your citizen and you say you're going to be a tracker, and then you send them out into the wild to find things. And sometimes he finds other sites with like more survivors or with shit you can use, and then they bring it back, and there's a storyline. And I watched a couple of demos on YouTube, and it just looks kind of interesting.
Huh, well, that's really cool. Yeah, that does sound interesting.
Yeah, and I like that. I used to play like a lot of Command and Conquer, and those sort of like, I don't know what they're called, that style of game.
RTS?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What does that stand for? Real-time strategy. Okay. Even I used to love playing like the original WoW.
Oh sure, yeah. Or the Warcraft games.
Yeah, Warcraft. Yeah, where you're like selecting your zugzugs and you're saying go over here and cut the trees, and those kind of. But yet I didn't like what's that? Diablo 3. Wasn't super big fan.
Well, yeah, that's more of an action game than an RTS, so I can kind of see that.
But the whole like click you go there thing, that always to me is more multi character controls. as opposed to one dude. You know, here, go there, here, go there,
Right.
here. You know.
Yeah, RTSs can be fun. I was never very good at them, but my sister and I played a ton. We played Homeworld. You remember that one?
No, I don't. I'm gonna look it up.
It was purely in space. It was really cool. So you had like a big mothership, and you would spawn off little ships and get into these gigantic space conflicts.
Nice.
And yeah, it was one of those things where you could like start a skirmish map with a LAN player, and so we would you know, start on her PC and my PC, we would start a server client type match, and we would leave it running for like a week.
Nice.
And you could set the mothership to automatically generate drones and attack ships and other carriers and all kinds of stuff as it automatically harvested the asteroids and meteors around it. And so we would basically just start it, and then like on a Monday, and then we would go to school all week and come in and check up on the game and see how it's going and maybe do a little bit of manual stuff. And the rule was on Friday afternoon when we got home from school, that's when the battle started.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun. So we would spend
That sounds awesome.
the whole weekend attacking each other's stupid motherships.
That's cool. Looks like they re-released this in 2015 too.
They did, yeah, and there was a sequel or two maybe, and the developer that made that originally, Sierra, has since gone out of business. Of course,
I recognize that name.
Yeah, I think they took a part in the production of the original Half-Life, yeah, but they've since gone, and the God, what am I trying to say? The developers that were helping make that game split off and made another company, and I don't remember who they were called, but they made another Homeworld-esque game that did pretty well.
Oh, okay, cool.
It had more planet landing and stuff like that, though, so that was kind of cool in that regard. Damn it, what was it called? I'm sure if I googled, like, from the creators of Homeworld. Oh, I'm not supposed to kill citizens. What a jerk I am. I am such a boob. But, oh, his trunk popped open. That is just unfortunate. I'm going to repair your car and steal it. Because that's what I do.
Holy shit! My computer is really choppy. I think I'm gonna have to take off your stream here. Sorry.
No, you're okay. It doesn't surprise me. The web encoder is pretty heavy.
It's, yeah, like I went to go I just linked those Frostpunk trailers and I went to go watch it, and it's like I'm getting 2 FPS. It's weird.
Oh, that sucks.
Still
I'm glad
doing
I can
it.
be a part of your problems, though.
Yeah,
Do you
thanks
still
a
have, like,
lot,
a
man.
game or...
No, oh, you know what? I know what it is. I think I got it. No, it's done. I downloaded. No, it could have been that, but I had Rust downloading a update, but it was done though. So I don't know. I'll shut Steam off.
Yeah, I've had Steam downloads do that to me once or twice before.
And I'll kill. I don't know. I kind of feel like, in the last bit, like Apple has actually been like maliciously doing things in their updates, because both of my computers run frickin' fine. Then I do an update and they both run like shit.
Wow.
And it just feels to me like they're, pushing you to always, like, I'm not running the most bleeding OS X kind of thing.
Well, I mean, they do that with their phones. They admit
I know.
it. So
I know. I feel like they're doing it with their computers too. Because this thing's like a Core i7 with 16 gigs of RAM and a solid state drive. Like, it's always been just like flap, 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 no problem. Give or go. And all of a sudden it's just like molasses.
Yeah, that really sucks. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, unless the SSD's dying.
I wouldn't think so, but if you've got heavy writes or reads going in one direction, it can certainly even cause an SSD to hang and stutter.
The only thing I can think of is it doesn't have garbage collection. And I have filled the drive a couple times.
Maybe. See, I have a thing going called, is it a Samsung drive?
I'd have to look.
If it's a Samsung... Oh, okay, it's an Intel. I think they have something similar. I know my Samsung Evo has something called Samsung Magic, which,
Oh, no, it is an Evo. That makes sense.
Okay, so I have something called Samsung Magic running. And I'm always dubious about the software they give you with any hardware because you're like, why the fuck would I need that? With SSDs, it's super important. Don't, of course, ever defrag them. You know that, of course.
Yeah. Use the app, but I just don't think there's an app for me because I'm on Mac. I'd have to like reboot in Windows.
There should be a Mac version because I think there was a version for almost everything.
Oh, okay.
But it's called Samsung Magic, and it manages the placement of all of the data on the drive. Because of course it's not that you shouldn't defrag an SSD; it's that if you attempt it, you will destroy the SSD.
Okay, gotcha.
It's because of how it logically places data on the SSD. If you were to defrag it, it would destroy it. But Samsung Magic places the data in different logical patterns to prevent you from doing heavy reads and writes on certain repetitious sectors.
Okay.
So it helps you to kind of spread the load across the bandwidth of the drive. And
Right.
I noticed a huge difference from the time I didn't have that installed to when I installed it and let it actually run overnight. When I came back to the PC, it was like a whole new fucking computer.
Okay. I think it might not be a Samsung. Shit. Yeah, and it didn't look like there. I'm just looking up now. Hang on. No, it's Intel 160 gig.
Okay. Well,
So I'd have to look to see if there was something like that for this. I knew it was originally when I installed it. Like, I put this SSD in right when got the computer. The moment it arrived, I opened the glass and put it in myself. Like, it was right when they were bleeding edge and just started offering them, kind of thing.
right.
So I don't know. It's an older drive for sure.
Well, and even still, there should be like software management, like SSD software management. You can install.
I'll look around.
Yeah, and I think it's just like, I think when I searched for it, I searched for something generic like Samsung SSD management tools, or maybe just SSD management tools. And the first thing I found was, well, if you're using a Samsung Evo, install this. And I was like, oh, well, fuck, I am using Samsung Evo.
Oh yeah. There's some things here. That's what it was. I had to enable trim.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I remember doing that. That's the thing.
Right.
But
And
that's it. I didn't do anything else. You know what I mean? I just used it from there on out.
That might make a big difference. Because what I was experiencing before I did that was like stutters in the hard drive. Like I would be writing data, like Steam would be downloading something, and the rest of the computer would be all but unusable.
Wow.
It just like I couldn't do any damn thing else, and it was because Windows naturally will start writing data in a certain pattern because the operating system treats it like a standard NTFS drive. And so it writes it, quickest accessible, closest sector to where it started, and it just kind of fills it up in a line, which is, on a mechanical drive, you would then defrag if there was anything fragmented. But since you can't do that, then the SSD tool goes, well, I'm utilizing everything on this sector of the drive, and the rest of the drive is all but unused. So let's spread this out across all of it. And it basically stripes the data across all of the little RAM modules.
The chips, yeah. So it's like RAID, but across them.
Basically, yeah, it's wide striping across a single cluster of nodes. Worst case scenario, you tried, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking for I found a little app, but it's a demo just to see if it would do anything, just for like a speed test or whatever.
Oh, right.
That was pretty shitty. Graphically beautiful, functionally useless.
Sounds like a Mac. I'm kidding.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kidding. They have their place. If I did much more web development or art, art or anything like that, I would definitely have one.
Yeah, I was burnt hard by Windows at the time. I went, you know. But I mean, yeah, you know, ME days and.
Oh God, ME is just.
You know, and I sold computers during that. Jesus.
Yeah, me too. I serviced computers too. Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, holy shit. Did you deal with the shit, the Athlon Thunderbirds at all?
Oh yes.
Fuck, man, I lost my shirt. I had to rebuild 10 out of pocket.
Oh.
Boards too.
Yeah, they were somebody else's out of pocket, thankfully, and we RMA'd every single one of them. But no, I've been in the business since Windows 95 was prevalent. So I mean, it's been.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I've been around, unfortunately.
So it's about the same as me. I did a few 3.11 installs, but that was pretty much high school.
Right. Yeah, the same here.
Yeah.
For fun.
Yeah, for fun. And I pretty much, to be honest with you, I learned computers when I went from a Tandy SX1000 to an NEC Pentium 90. Like, that was my jump. And
nice.
I had Windows 95 Revision A, and I spent at least 500 hours on the phone with NEC. They fucking taught me Windows. I would fuck it up. I'd phone them. When I was like 13, I'd spend hours reinstalling, and that's how you figure it out.
That's how you got to learn sometimes, though. Back when they would let you, use them as support for just learning tools.
Exactly. I've had the unfortunate pleasure of installing Windows 95 from floppy disk.
Oh, yep, been there. That was that was fun. I remember installing quite a few different things from floppy disk.
Yep.
So many games.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I did the other one too, the one where it was like 40 discs. I think it was Windows 98.
I think you're correct.
Yeah, it was painful. That's all I know. It was painful.
Yeah.
And then all of that. And you know what? I'm still to this day in my drive pile. I got hard drives about. I never get rid of them. I got my buddies, the IBM Death Stars, we called them.
Oh yeah.
I had a 20 gig Death Star, and I've been keeping my eye out for finding another one because I know what's wrong with it. I know why they died. I just need to take the logic board off and put it from another one, and I'll have it. And he had about half of that drive, about 10 gigs, full of just like the most perfectly organized music.
Oh man,
like
people's
10
music
gigs.
collections can be amazing.
Yeah, and I've been keeping it because it was way out there. Like, I don't know, he was like into like Modest Mouse and those kind of things when they were really fresh on the scene.
Right. Wow, I hadn't heard that name in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that makes me feel. little dirty, but also
a little bit of that. If you want to destroy my sweater.
Oh God. The most nonsensical fucking music.
Yeah.
I still don't understand what I was listening to, really.
I still don't. It's whatever. Sometimes I go on random YouTube binges and I deep dive.
Right.
I found some pretty crazy shit.
Yeah, I've been listening to I never can pronounce his last name, Leo Mokele. He does metal covers of like basically all music, and it's pretty brilliant.
Cool. Check it out.
I've linked a couple videos. Like they did the Sultans of Swing earlier this week, and did a really banging job of it. That and Toto's Africa, like the song no one ever thinks about.
Mm-hmm. Scrolling up.
I want to say I linked it earlier today, but
In Gib chat?
yeah, in Gib chat. Killed you. I can't say that in my head without sounding like Dark Helmet from Spaceballs. Fooled you. I'll link it to you again if you want.
Yeah, I'm not finding. I found something where you posted a picture of a bird that speaks Japanese.
Well, that was not me, for what it's worth.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
That was some weird fucking person. There you go. I put it in Gib chat right there.
And then I just found it.
Love that song. That guy is just entertaining in general. Ridiculously talented.
Cool. I'm gonna listen to it.
God damn it.
I like that he's not just screaming shit. He's got a pretty good voice.
Yeah, he does, but he can scream like fucking crazy too. I love it.
I bet. I better run. I think the wife's wanting me up there.
All right, man. Well, we'll catch you later.
Yeah, have a good night. Also, oh, I forgot to tell you.